Have our correspondents in all states across the Federation giving updates on today's election. And we will be turning to Maiduguri now in Borno State, where INEC officials dispatched voting materials as early as 7 a.m. As early as 7 a.m., materials have been dispatched. In most polling units visited, election materials and INEC officials are waiting for the arrival of voters. Election materials and officials are waiting for the arrival of voters to come and cast their ballot beginning from the time. So let's join our correspondent from Maiduguri, Jesse Tafida, who's standing by now to give us updates from Maiduguri. Jesse, it's good to have you join us. We have been complaining about the arrival of materials for so long. Now we understand that materials have been deployed since 7 a.m., and in some of the places you monitored, materials and officials are waiting for the voters to come. What's going on? That's really impressive. Talk to us where you are.
Thank you very much. A very good morning from Maiduguri, capital of Borno State. It is good to know that the mood in Maiduguri is calm. People are out, sitting at their doorsteps. They are not going to polling unit, not as the presidential election, whereby when I was out in the morning around 6:30, I could see people trekking a kilometer or two to their polling units to cast their ballots. Reverse is the case, because when I was coming from my house to this polling unit, I have not seen people trekking as the presidential and national assembly elections. I was surprised. I could see security operatives and only few vehicles that are on election duties that are allowed to pass. That is first. Secondly, as you've just said, INEC is prepared, because this polling unit is Lamisula Primary School polling unit, is where the vice president-elect is going to vote. We could recall that during the presidential and national assembly election, he was here early, and INEC officials and materials were not on ground. He had to go back to his house and wait for them to come before he comes back and cast his ballot. But reverse is the case. As I was coming down, you could see from the visuals I sent, INEC officials are on ground, materials are on ground, but there are no voters coming out. Because INEC have said yesterday in Borno that they are very much prepared for this election, and they've said that the hitches they encountered during the presidential and national assembly election will be avoided this time around. And we could see that on ground, because we could see materials here. And it is good to note that there are about 2,513,281 registered voters in Borno State. And out of that, about 91,584 TVCs are uncollected. Let's talk security. Borno State, when we're talking about security, insurgency is what comes to minds of the people. We could recall that during the presidential and national assembly elections, Boko Haram attacked Goza local council, where it disputed the voting exercise there. And the military repelled the attack, and voting exercise continued. And that is why the Borno State Commissioner of Police told us that over 13,000 security personnel have been deployed across the state. They consist of the police, the army, the GSS, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the NGLEA, the correctional officers. It's a joint task force. They've been dispatched, and when I was coming, I could see even the vehicle of security personnel patrolling to give cover to ensure that law and order is maintained before, during, and after the elections. And we could see their presence, and we could also hear the Air Force aircraft hovering around the state to give cover. And then the Commissioner of Police also said that the security personnel are going to give cover to voters. They are not going to intimidate anyone. They would ensure that it is a hit-free election. But it's surprising to see that people are just sitting down, not coming to the polling units to cast their ballot. It's surprising.
Oh, well, that's really a great surprise, I must say, because when it comes to the passion to vote, we often see that from the north, especially across the north, where people are very interested to vote. What could be responsible for this seeming apathy? We expect now that people should have been going to the polling units to line up, beginning to see the queue, awaiting the time. And if people are still hovering around, just sitting down and not going to the... What do you think is responsible for that?
Well, when we speak with some of the residents day before yesterday, perhaps it might be because of the late arrival of materials in at the previous elections, as the presidential and national assembly elections, whereby people came out as early as 7 o'clock, and some polling units had to wait till 4 p.m. before they start the accreditation. Perhaps that might be one of the reasons where people are not out early. They're having in their minds, maybe if they're out, they would come and still wait for this longer time before they would start casting their ballots. Perhaps this might be one of the reasons where people are not out here in Maiduguri, capital of Borno State.
All right. One thing of concern is the security generally in Maiduguri. Of course, we had seen through the years of Boko Haram how in a lot of territories in Boko Haram, people walk in fear. But in the last year, up until this year, we've seen some calm. And in fact, records show that security has greatly improved in Borno State. But talk to us from that window. Are there parts that still have high level of insecurity that might undermine or jeopardize this voting process?
Yes, as during the presidential and national assembly elections, 2 local government areas were not able to hold the election exercise because of insecurity. Out of the 27 local government areas, 2 are still not okay, and that is why they had to come to neighboring local council areas of Mongolo, Ganze to cast their ballots. But talking about these windows, Borno State is speaking to itself. When you come to Borno State, it's not as before. People go about their normal businesses. The insecurity, the insurgency is down drastically because in 2011, 2015, it is not like that. Because when you go to polling units during election 2011, you see people casting their ballot in IDP camps. But that is the case. That is not it. IDPs are back to their local government areas. Just these 2 local government areas that are still not secured, and that is why they have to transport them to the neighboring local council areas to cast their ballot. But generally speaking, security has very much improved in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital.
All right. The feeling in the air sometimes is that of scare. In some of the places we have heard, we've been monitoring the build up to the election. There are concerns around security or violence from, what thugs might do and all of that. From what you're telling us, are you seeing tranquility, total peace, where people will go out, nobody's fearing anything, nobody's anxious of anything? Is that the atmosphere in Maiduguri?
Absolutely. People are not afraid of coming out. You can come out as late as 10 p.m. in Maiduguri before the curfew hours. That's 10:30 in the night. Maiduguri is peaceful. Not only Maiduguri, but local council areas that were previously displaced, they are now liberated, and civil authorities is back. You're talking about local governments like Jekwa, talking about Bama local governments, talking about Conjugal local government, a lot of local government that you cannot access. But now you can even travel out of the state in the evening. At least to tell you that peace has returned to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, and everyone is going about his normal businesses. And one thing to note is that in the minds of many, for the past 2 weeks, it has been hard for people in Maiduguri because the most popular market was engulfed in fire, and a lot of people have lost their means of livelihood, where billions of naira were destroyed. But the governor and the presidency have been here, and they've given hope to the people. And because of that, people have started coming out, going to their normal businesses, and everything is going fine in Borno State. And I want to urge our viewers to stay glued to TVC, as from the north and every part of the state, we are going to bring updates back to our viewers.
Thank you, Jesse, for that. And thanks for giving us updates. We're happy. At least the first report we're taking from the field is that of very early arrival of materials, and election officials are waiting for voters to come. That's really interesting. Thank you, Jesse, for the updates you've given to us, the situation from Maiduguri in Borno State. We'll certainly come back to you as we get along through the day.